I mentioned, is Paula. Sorry, Paula, not Paula. Forgive me. Paula is an SSC and is a mom of 4 beautiful girls. A wife to the lover of her life, Nick, and owner of Performance Fitness, and has a personal trainer. She's a personal trainer for 17 years. She is going to share with us about casting vision. Please welcome Paula.
Hello, hello everyone. The introduction was the next NMDs. My heart rate just sped up like a whole lot when you said that.
No pressure, no pressure.
I know, right? Okay, I am super excited to be up here today. Nicole asked me to talk about casting vision. Some of you may have heard the saying, finding your why, creating your why. Same type of thing, having a vision for your business. I would like you guys to take out your starter guide. So now the rest of the day is going to be going through this starter guide with you, okay? So it's an awesome, awesome tool that was launched at our last conference and gives us this streamlined system when anyone joins our business that we can then walk them through as well as leaders, and this easy step-by-step. On the Healthy Living Revolution website, there are videos that go along with every section. The total time it would take to go through all of the videos for somebody who's new is 45 minutes. So this is very reasonable, very, very doable, okay? All right, so casting vision is basically your first page. So let me make sure we got it. All right, beautiful. So, my name is Paula Mann.
Oh, yeah.
I did not make so that's anyways, that's all right. So, what we're going to do today, actually, I'm going to go back one to this, since that's not the right name. Okay, so, having your notebooks out, we've all heard about vision statements for businesses and having a clear vision for what we want to do and where we want to go. It's really, really important. You think about if you're like doing a road trip, for example, and you get in the car, you need to know your destination in order to plan the route to get there. So you have a health journey, your weight loss goal. You need to know what that goal is in order to have a plan in place to be successful. So what we want to do is really visualize that result. Where do you want to be? Short term, long term. And it allows you, when you have bumps in the road, when things happen, when things don't go exactly as planned, you can keep your eyes on that goal and keep moving forward. All right? So what we want to do is look at what it means, what a vision is. So a vision statement is an aspirational statement of what you would like to accomplish in the midterm and long term. It's being able to see or imagine the future. Future for your family, future for yourself, with big dreams. It's not just a reality, it's what you want reality to become. And being able to see things that others don't see, so an idea or mental image. That's a really important, I really want to point out that others don't see. Okay, there's a quote I'll have at the end, but this is not anybody else's vision, this is yours. So it's really, really important to have that in place, all right? So, this is my family. I have 4 daughters. They are currently, one is turning 11 in 2 weeks, 9, 7, and 5. So when I started with Juice Plus just sheerly as a product and offsetting my costs 4.5 years ago, my littlest was 1. I own a personal training studio in Aurora. I am self-employed, was self-employed at that time with no mat leaves for my 2 youngest. And I was a burnt out mom. You can imagine having 4 kids in 5.5 years, what that looks like. Okay, so you're either pregnant or nursing forever. And I just got to the point where I thought I was eating well, but I obviously was not. My body was completely depleted. I would get up in the morning and just be exhausted already. Your day is overwhelming, right? So I had been introduced to Juice Plus 8 months before that, and because it looked like a supplement in a pill, I just not interested. I'm interested in educating my clients and using food to fuel my body, not a man-made supplement. And so anyways, I went back to that friend and said, what do I need to do? Here's where I'm at. I got strep throat twice in 6 weeks and was on 3 antibiotics and Tylenol 3 just to sleep. I hadn't slept in 3 days because of the pain. And she said, I already told you. You need to look at it again. So, anyways, long story short, I looked at it again and started my family, all of us on it, because if I was going to take it, so was everyone else, and was pleasantly surprised in 7 to 10 days how that 2-3 o'clock crash and burn, where I needed to drive to my kids' school, I got there about half an hour early, parked, put my seat back, set my timer for 15 minutes, and had a power nap, because I knew the rest of my day then had to go on with my kids. So that was gone. I didn't need that. And then I thought it was a placebo effect. So I didn't tell my husband, and I asked him, what do you feel? And it used to take him till about 10 o'clock in the morning, and a really, really big coffee before he was like on, focused, functioning. And all of a sudden, without us even realizing it, he was up and helpful in the morning. So that was kind of the start. So I just started sharing it from there. And I'll talk a little bit more later on about my vision, but at that point I decided to join the business because it made sense to get paid back on my product. It was just, my whole family was coming on, $50 investment, totally worth it. Don't talk to me about the business. That was it. Like Jennifer wrote, I was very clear. Do not, I am too busy to say, like very similar story to Jen Brennan. I'm not interested, I just want to take it, leave me alone. So if you're gonna, so I said if you're gonna take a road trip already. When you're creating vision for yourself, it needs to come from the heart. So for example, if you have a goal in your business, I want to be sales coordinator by September 30th. Or sorry, VF by September 30th. That's amazing, great goal. But what you want to start to do is think about why. What would that fast track to VF do for you? What would that $300 bonus give you? Would that pay part of your mortgage that you're really struggling trying to figure out how that's going to happen? Would that pay down debt for you? Would that give you and your spouse, husband, a special night out that you haven't had in years because your kids are so little? Would that be able to say yes to your kids wanting to do the activities that you haven't been able to give them? That's what we really want to do with this vision, is attach that personal value to that goal for you. It's very specific to everyone, and that's what we really want to look at today when we're talking about your why and casting your vision, okay? So when you're setting those goals for yourself, you need to continue to ask, why do I want that promotion? Why do I want that bonus? And for us as leaders, I'm going to talk in a little bit as well about doing that for our team. Okay. Beautiful. So as a leader, so there's a lot of, how many people are brand new? Can you put your hands up for me? Okay. So the rest of you, how long, let's say, how many of you have been in the business for more than a year? Perfect. Okay, so this part's for you. Our job as a leader is when those people come in and don't really know what their dream is and what their vision is to be able to help them find that and to be able to really hold that tight for them. We want to be, there's a saying, dream keepers. And when we start to, I know personally for me, when things go up and down and you start to get discouraged, things aren't going the track that you wanted them to or as fast as you wanted them to, having that person to really remind you and say, you can do this. Here's why you did this in the first place. Here's why you said yes in the first place. It's really, really important that we can do that. So when we're setting our vision, when we're writing it down, when we're creating our why, don't just keep it to yourself. Okay? If you have a buddy in the business, your upline, make sure you share that with them. And as a leader, this starter guide, it's our job to go through that with our team. It's not, here you go, do it yourself, tell me when you're done. We want to really walk hand in hand with our new distributors through that. All right, so my vision and my why was, first of all, not very big, like I said to you. So it was just cover some of the costs of my product. I wasn't interested in doing anything. I had a busy practice and a busy family, And when I went, on vacation about 3 or 4 months after I got into my business and got a paycheck deposited into my bank account when I was away. That for me was unheard of. I am in an industry where if I don't work, I don't get paid. There's a lot of us in that. And if there's no vacation pay, there's no anything like that for me. So that was when kind of the bigger dreaming and light bulb went off for me, was that I can get paid when I'm away. I can meet and do 5 minutes. Holy crap. Do new business when I'm away. I can say yes to my kids, even though I'm not standing in my studio with my clients. I can have a business that doesn't take me away from my family. I have a business that I can bring them with me. So it's really, really important to be looking at that. And for me, that's when things started to dream. I have a daughter who is a provincial gymnast and has big goals for herself. So being able to travel when is necessary for her, I'm not going to get into a whole lot of stuff or else I'll start crying, but just heart-centered. My husband he's a contractor. He is self-employed as well. But he has a really big heart for helping others. And he would love to be able to not have to live by his client's schedule and work for them to support us. He would love to be able to help people that can't afford, but also go on missions trips. He's done quite a few all around the world and use his gifts. So to be able to build a business that allows a life of purpose to happen, that's what I want you to think about right now, okay? My passion is this. My passion is talking and meeting people and things like that, but my husband is my biggest supporter, and I want to enable him to do that. So I want you to get those books out now, and I want you to look at that first page of Casting Vision. All right? So I want you to write these 4 things down. 90 days from now, 1 year from now, 3 years, and 5 years. We do not have a whole lot of time, as I was just told. I want you to think about those first few. And it's not just a position level in this company, okay? That's what I really, really want you. I'm hoping that you're getting that today. It's where do you want to be in life? What would this allow you the freedom to do in 90 days from now? If you are sales coordinator in 90 days, what would that $1,000 paycheck every month mean for you and your family? Okay, so I'm going to give you basically like 30 seconds to start working on that, and then I'm going to move on. What are we down to, like 2 minutes? Yeah. Has everyone written all that down or taken a picture? Okay. So Dana's going to come up and talk a little bit after me, in a little while. What you want to think about is when people talk to you about your why, creating your why, this is the same thing, okay? That dream for your family. One of the things that does happen in our business is that other people will not understand you doing what you do. This is a non-traditional business model. It scares some people, right? It is very uncertain. There's so much room for growth, but also there's a chance that we don't do anything with it too, right? But this is your dream. God did not give it to anyone else but you. So really just be reminded of that when you're working through your promotions, when you have those awesome times and those lows in your business as well. Not everyone will understand it, but pursue it anyways. So when you have that clear vision written down, you can go back to that and stay focused to your path. And like I said, when you share that with your buddy and your upline, they can help you stay close to that as well, okay? Believe in your vision and do everything you can to turn it into a reality. So that is, I'm hoping I can get that across to you guys in my 15 minutes. I have 30 seconds left here. But it's really, really important that you go back to why you said yes. There was a reason. There was something inside you that when this person introduced you, whoever your business buddy or your upline is, you were intrigued and you said yes. Think about those and kind of jot them down. And the starter guide says that at the top of it too for casting vision. What was the thing that brought you to us, to this community, that we get to partner with you and have you join us in this mission? And jot those down so that you're very, very clear on that. And take some time, like I said, to go through those planning and those 4 points, and then share it with your upline. I would say in the next week at the most, sooner the better, and really start to build that. There's a saying that says, your why should make you cry. It may not always, but it should be like, ooh, right there. You should know why this is that you want to do this, all right? That's me. All right, thank you. So, where is that sheet that was here to introduce the next person? Oh, did you take it? No.
There's a master sheet up there.
Okay, I'm going to try and remember it off the top of my head. So, Melissa, there she is next. So, Melissa is a mom of 2 boys, massage therapist, nutritionist, and homeopath. Woo. So, she's going to come up and speak to us next. So, your next section in your starter guide.
My slides. I can't do 2 things at once. So I am going to hit the next section in your starter guide, which is building your list. And I'm going to be honest, it's something I never did. I thought, that's just garbage. Nobody needs a list. I can handle everything in my memory. And I do have an awesome memory, except that it forgets things. So, so let me get started. So you've signed your application, you've become a rep, and you're wondering now, how are you going to get customers, right? So the most important part of our business is getting customers. It's inspiring other people to take their health to the next level through using our products, right? And so, how are you going to do that? Anybody? Got to get customers, right? So you got to make a list of people who you're going to contact, right? And while that seems daunting, I say that you need to make that list, and it needs to have 50 to 100 people on it. Because here's the thing, guys, when you're first getting started, I think the average is 1 in 10 people will say yes. Maybe your warmer market, you'll have a little bit more yeses, but you need to be talking to a bunch of people initially. So that list is really going to serve you. Okay. So your list is a space, basically, where you keep track of people you're talking to, the conversations you're having, and the connections that you're making with them, right? So while I have an ongoing list in my head, I can never remember what I actually talked to them about, or they're very similar to the other people I've talked about. So I want to make sure that when I'm talking to them, that my conversation is genuine and authentic, and that I am not talking to them about, their 3-year-old when they're the person struggling to get pregnant. Like, that would be the worst thing, right? So you always want to know who you're talking to and make sure that your conversations are the right conversations. So who goes, no, I want to go back. The list is, as I mentioned, having that conversation. So the key to our business, guys, is building relationships. And you want to make sure that the relationships that you're building are authentic. And so that goes back to knowing who you're talking to, right? Because as you get customers, your customers are then going to be your hottest market for building your team. And so if you're in this business to move through the marketing plan, you're going to need team eventually. So getting those customers and taking care of those customers are who are going to be your hottest market. So you want to make sure that you're having a good conversation with them and that you know them. Okay, next slide. So who goes on your list, right? And you talk to people, and a lot of people are very intimidated to do this business because they feel like they don't know enough people. And so, I challenge you to just open your phone, open your social media accounts, open, a Rolodex from 1980. Go through anywhere in your house, in your office, in your computer, anywhere where you can find people's contact numbers and put them on the list, right? And just because you're putting them on the list doesn't mean you actually have to contact them. It just means that they go on the list. I think Eric Worre says if they're old, put them on your list. If they're young, put them on your list. If you like them, put them on your list. If you hate them, put them on your list. It doesn't mean that you're contacting them. It means that eventually you may have a change of mind, right? And here's the thing, is that when you're building your list, don't prejudge who you're putting on that list, because time and time again, I've prejudged people, and those are the people who reach out to me and say, I need to be on what you're selling. And it always blows my mind, because I was like, oh, I never thought that they, it never even occurred to me that they would be into what I'm doing. So never prejudge. Your job really is just to look at that list and build authentic relationships. And so in your guide, you'll see that there is a classification of the people who you are putting on your list. And so I'm just going to quickly go through those. On thefreedomrevolution.com, there is a video done by Jake and Jenna Rude who will sort of take you through that. It's a 7-minute video. It's pretty good. But basically, when you're building relationships and classifying them on your list, the red relationship is someone who you probably don't know. Maybe they're a friend of a friend who you know their name maybe, but you've never met them, but you have a connection to them somehow. So your goals with them when you're building a relationship is just to basically ask questions, right? Ask questions, talk about the friend you have in common or whatever you can find in order to make connections. And, they term connections as things that basically would connect them to the need for Juice Plus, right? So maybe you hear that their children are sick all the time, or, they lost their job. Whatever it may be, there's a connection there. So your goal with the red is to build to a yellow. And so then the yellow are people who are already in your network. Maybe they're friends or colleagues or people that you know on a first name basis and have some sort of relationship with. So your conversation goals with them is to continue to build that relationship. Reaching out to say hello, check in and see, if they, whatever it may be. You're just checking in on a regular basis just to kind of build that relationship with them, but you're also asking good questions, because in a yellow, what you want to do is you want to take the conversation to eventually invite them out to an event or talk to them about our product or business. And then in the green relationships, you'll see that they're like your close friends and family. They're your very warm market in order for you to be able to, you can, at the drop of a hat, call them or text them and say, listen, I'm going to do my launch event. I want you to come out. Or, they're just people that you can depend on that will be there to support you. We're good. So how do you keep track of the list, right? So this was always my thing. I love notebooks, and I have notebooks and notebooks and notebooks and notebooks, and the conversation continues in various notebooks, so nothing's ever cohesive. So for some people, the notebook works, and you know what? You might need to get out your highlighters and color code it so that what maybe red is, pink is that they're interested in the product. Yellow is they're interested in the business. Green is they want to come to an event in the future. Whatever it may be, you need to leave space though in order to create those written conversations. And so it's not a bad thing. It's just it wasn't something that worked for me. I'm also not a fan of Excel, but I know I have a teammate that uses Excel and loves it. And on the Freedom Revolution, they talk about Google Sheet tabs. I watched a YouTube video of it. Maybe you guys can decipher better than me what that's all about, but it is another tool. But what works for me and what I'm really excited about is Teamzy. So Teamzy, is anyone using Teamzy? Yeah, oh my gosh, this revolutionized my life, because while I like to think of myself as an organized person, I'm actually not that organized when it comes to this kind of stuff, so this is a no-brainer for me. So basically what Teamzy is something where you can upload all of your social contacts from Facebook, where else? I think from your
franchise, virtual office.
Virtual office. So that's the great thing. So the Juice Plus company is part of Team Z. So what that means is that all of your customers can be uploaded. It's amazing for customer care. I don't know if you guys struggle with customer care, but setting that like 3 months, 2 months, everything in my phone doesn't work for me. So this is amazing because it just alerts me, oh, you need to be talking to so-and-so because they're at 3 months and they are ready for reorder or whatnot, right? So you can upload all of your prospects, upload all of your distributors as well, so you know who your distributors are and who you're keeping track of. And then, when you're ready to reach out to people and create conversations, if you don't know what, wow, I'm only going to talk for 10 minutes, but that's good. If you don't know what to say to them, there's scripts in there, which means that you can choose something that really resonates with you to send out to them. Just like cut and paste and send it out to them, especially if they're people who you haven't talked to in a long time, someone from high school or whatnot, right? And the great part about it is that you can determine, okay, I want to make whatever you want to make. I want to make $30,000 with Juice Plus. So you can set that in there, and what that'll do is it'll tell you how many people you need to be contacting every day, how many customers you need to be following up with, how many distributors you need to be talking to on your team. It tells you exactly what you're supposed to be doing, and you can schedule follow-ups for all of it. Which is like amazing. So you tune into your get onto your Team Z, and it's just like, oh yeah, I need to do all of this today. They call it the power hour, and then you're done, and it's completely done. So that's my recommendation. It is something that you need to make. I think it's a $300 US investment for the year in, but I mean, you need a write-off. So that's the way that I like to keep track of my lists. And so as you can see, guys, your list is really important. It is the number one, I would say, aside from vision, the second tool that you need in order to start to create your business. And that's all I have. I got to introduce the next person. So Dana is she is a mom of 3 girls. Wow, there's lots of girls up here. Last night we had all boys. She's a dental hygienist, and she loves spending her days outside with her favorite slobbery pup named Susie Q.
Awesome.
Thank you so much. Thanks for the introduction, Melissa. Okay, so I'm here to talk to you guys about storytelling tips. It's in your guide here that we have, so you guys can refer to that too. But before I get started, I really wanted to highlight this quote that's here. I know when we all start with this business, we have somebody who inspires us. But for some reason, I think when we go to share our story, we get nervous, we get, thinking people are going to think I'm selling, that sort of thing. And we have to really remember that you started this at one point and were inspired by that person. So don't be ashamed to tell your story. Know that someone will connect with that and that you will be inspiring other people. Where's the, oh, you got it.
You know what, maybe I will, because I'm going to talk super fast.
Watch the cord, don't trip.
Nope, I'm good. Okay. Oh, how do I do it? There we go. Okay. So we've already mentioned the website, which is incredible. If you guys haven't been on there yet, be sure to. There's amazing videos, and especially ones that follow product and business story, which I'm going to cover.
The front.
Okay, there's an error. So the freedom.
Yeah.
Thank you, Nicole. Today, what I'm going to do, I know you guys can read all of this. You're very capable of that. You're capable of going on and watching the videos. I'm not going to regurgitate everything to you. I will refer to this, but I'm going to give you guys some other tips. Things that I've learned the last 3 years in the business. So first of all, when we get started, these are things you want to consider. Now, Paula and Melissa have already touched on these a little bit, but when you're sitting down and forming that story, you want to make sure that you are personable. Something relatable to people. You want to make sure that the person that you're talking to is understanding what you're saying. You're not communicating in a way that they're like, oh my gosh, that's that Juice Plus girl. I don't want to talk to her anymore. You want to be yourself. You really want to speak from the heart. That's a really big thing. And consider the audience that you're speaking to, which really relates to the relatable. So me, being a mom of 3, when I'm telling my product story to a group of other moms, that's the story I'm going to be telling and really connecting with those people. When I'm with my mother-in-law or my mom and we're hanging out with some of their friends, I'm maybe going to change that story a little bit in order to connect with that audience. And get inspired. I think that that is one of the number one things. When we're inspired, people see that and they want to know what you're doing. They want to listen to more. So people don't want to be bought. People want to buy, but they don't want to feel sold to. Okay, now Paula touched on this. I'm not going to say much, but I really felt I needed to put that in here, that it's all about the why. It really is when you're sitting down and telling a story to people, why you chose to use the products or why you chose the business. That's where people will connect with you and will make it easier for you to tell that story if you understand what your why is. So here's another tip. This is a great thing to do with your team. To sit down, maybe have some coffee or some wine, and you guys can go over, before you get started and actually creating that story, and go over some of these questions to help you guys create that really organic story that you want to share with others. So what are your hopes for the business and for the products? Why did you start? What was your reasoning for starting? What intrigued you the most about both? Who is your audience? So that's another big one, that target group. And education. This one, you need to have something in your story that creates that conversation, obviously in around Juice Plus, but you don't want to be someone who is speaking from a level where people are like, oh my gosh, I don't understand that, or they run into that, oh, that Juice Plus girl again. And if you are new, this is something I loved, and I try to help my team with this, especially when they're creating that story or feel that they just started and they don't have a product story yet, is you can adopt a story from someone else. So I'll use myself as an example. For instance, say someone is new and they're talking to a girlfriend and they say, I'm an exhausted mom, I'm really tired, I'm hoping that these Juice Plus products or that this raw fruit and vegetables in a capsule is going to help me, my girlfriend, and then she can carry on with part of my story. Okay, so we'll get right into it now. Sharing a powerful product story. So here are 5 tips that you guys can think about to help form that story. So what was the challenge prior to starting Juice Plus? So that's where you can add sort of that negative, whether it's medical, whatever the case may be. That in my case, it was exhausted and I knew I was missing something. How were you introduced to the product? And who were you introduced maybe to the product from? What product did you start with? I think that that's important. We have lots of avenues of different, that people come in to using the products in the business. Some people are the Tower Gardens. Some people are the capsules. So Children's Health Study is a big one too. So we want to make sure we're highlighting that. Time frame for results. So that's sort of that immediate time frame. For me, it was within the first couple of weeks I noticed I had more energy. Other people may have obviously different results. And the last there, number 5, is the finale. So the best part, and you really want to attach your emotional impact there, that these people may be wanting to ask more questions. Most compelling stories do come from you, so remember that. Speaking from the heart is a big part of it. So I'm going to share with you guys my product story, where you guys can dissect it and sort of see where I've answered the questions, and I've also followed the beginning, middle, and end that's in front of you guys there too. 3 years ago, I was an exhausted, frazzled mom who was looking for something but didn't know what. It wasn't until I was watching a friend's post and seeing raw fruits and vegetables in a capsule were making such a huge change for her and her family. At that moment, I decided to start in hopes that it would help with my exhaustion and be the stepping stone to a healthier lifestyle. Right away, I noticed more energy and was able to be more of the mom that I wanted to be. And the best part was, at that moment, I was setting an example for my girls. And now, 3 years later, it is irreplaceable. So that is an example. Everybody's is different. You can change it and make it shorter so that if you're running into people at the grocery store, but this would be something I would say at the front of the room at an event or that sort of thing. Okay, so now your business story. 5 tips here. Number 1, who you are. So a little bit of background, maybe about, like for instance, I'm a hygienist, I'm a mom, that sort of thing. Why were you looking for an opportunity? Number 3, how did you hear about the company? And again, who introduced you to that? Why did you choose this company and what attracted you the most? And then the best part is your why. So this is where it comes back to that. And again, it doesn't have to be something that makes you cry. It could literally be you wanted a discount on the product. but you really want to input that in there because people will resonate with that. Casting a vision is the hardest part, but this is where you'll do that by putting that why in there. Okay, so my business story, guys. I am a mom of 3, a dental hygienist by trade. I wasn't really looking for anything, but knew that I always wanted to be home raising my babies. I had seen through my girlfriend Alyssa that this company offered a lot of opportunity, and combining my love for helping people and getting healthier myself really intrigued me. What attracted me the most to saying yes was the amazing community surrounding Juice Plus. And learning and the extra income has truly been the cherry on top. But the very best part has been that I have been able to stay home with my girls, still travel, and be me. And for that, I'm very grateful. So you can see where I've outlined the answers to those questions. I've also got a beginning, a middle, and an end. And it leaves people maybe asking more questions or casting vision for them. Maybe they want to stay home with their kids too. Now this is a little different. We don't have this in the sheets, but I thought it was important to share. This is something that I have now adopted into my business, and I think it works really, really well. Your business story and your product story are what kind of hooks those people. So it gets those people thinking, they're wanting to know what's this all about, that sort of thing. But when you have people that have been to a business event, that are very aware that the opportunity is out there, that opens the door to a company story. So where you can sit down and you can actually talk about the business and not feel like you're pressuring people or making someone feel uncomfortable. So 5 tips to write that would be a little bit about the company. So what sets us apart? We know that there's a ton of things that set us apart, but what resonates with you the most? Number 2, experiences that you've had with the company and the business. Number 3, the bonuses, the incentives, our marketing plan. You can highlight a lot of things there. And again, think of the audience and who it is you're speaking with. If somebody is very money, numbers oriented, you want to highlight a lot of those things. If somebody is more wanting community, you talk about going to law and hanging out with our girlfriends and having a good time. Number 4, the best time to start right now because. So that's a line you really want to put in there. So people feel somewhat of the urgency to sort of hear more. And then number 5 is your call to action. So end with a question, asking them, what did intrigue you that I was saying there? What do you want to learn more about? And again, people do buy you before they'll buy the business. So they want to connect with you. So here's my company story. I chose Juice Plus mainly because of the incredible reputation that it had surrounding the company. The mission of inspiring healthy living really speaks to me. I had the chance to travel to an all-expense-paid trip to Montreal, and the focus on the weekend was for me to grow personally and professionally. That right there speaks volumes to myself. We offer incredible bonuses, and the best part is you never go backwards on the marketing plan. Right now is the most incredible time for you to join. We have so much momentum happening, and I would love for you to be a part of that. What intrigues you the most? I can absolutely see you doing this. So you can have that conversation over coffee, and it will create more conversation, obviously, in regards to the company. So lastly, I'm going to challenge everybody. I think this is a good one. I did it with my team a little while ago, where you take a picture of yourself, maybe with your family, at an event like this, and you can post your personal and your business story beside that. Social media is a huge spot for us to tell our stories. We stand up here, nervous, and tell our stories at events and those sorts of things, but people see you every day on your Facebook and your Instagram. So making sure you remember that you're telling your story there every day. And how cool would it be, guys, if you have a picture of all of us here today, this community, your friends, and then post your business story beside that on social media and tag it, right? So that is all. I think I have a quote to finish with. 97% of people who quit too soon are employed by 3% that never gave up. And how true is that, guys? So anyhow, thank you. I'm nervous. This is not something I typically do, but you guys are great. So thank you. I don't see him. He's next, I believe. He's going to tell his story. I don't have anything here, but I can introduce him. He is my upline, NMD. He loves to travel, and he definitely has a huge heart for this company. So we'll get him up here to tell his product and business story.
A hug, hug, hug. No, that's all he needs.
Oh, that's
one. Yeah.
Well, good morning. How much time do I have?
5 minutes.
5 minutes. Anyhow, so probably my story is going to be unlike anything you've been taught how to do your story, right? But I'll go very quickly. My name is Zvonko Kurkic. I started with the Juice Plus when they introduced Juice Plus in Canada. And my whole story started by reading a book, Food Enzymes, The Missing Link to Radiant Health. And that book really didn't blow my mind, but it really got me to thinking, because this book spoke about this idea that food is energy, food is fuel. And I never thought about that in those terms. So I was eating whatever, whenever, as much. And when I read that book, I recognized myself in that book, because at that time my typical lunch would be cheeseburger, fries, Heineken, and big cup of coffee after that, in order not to fall asleep. And I said, aha, that's why this is happening to me, because I'm eating all this pretty much dead food, and my body is saying, you know what, I need so much energy to process this food that I really cannot keep all your functions. I have to turn off some of them, maybe to put you to sleep, and then when I'm done with this, hopefully I'll wake you up, and then you can continue and do it again tomorrow, right? And I'm going, this is not really some heavy brain science, this is a linear thing. You do this, you feel this way, you do this, you feel this way. And I go like, how come I don't know about this? I think I was like 30 something at that time, like I had Bachelor of Science degree, spent all these years in school. I'm going like, where was I when they were talking about this? But then you look into it, you realize really, what's going on in the world, like, right? So this book really changed my life. So my thing was like, everybody should know about this. So for me, I started taking Juice Plus right then and there, and this was like 20 plus years ago, and I took it every single day. I have never missed a day. I have my capsules here in my pocket, right? Anywhere I travel, that is the first thing that I pack. So that's really my product story. So it has really transformed my life. It has transformed my mind, because I started to think about myself and my health from different perspective. I started to see the world from different perspective. And really, if I were to share with you my mission statement, why I do this and why I have been with the company all these years, from altruistic standpoint, I think I'm doing something good in this world by helping people become healthier. And you know what? You are going to wake some people in a major way just by that little simple idea, saying, maybe I should send you this video, would you watch it? Or maybe I might help you with, you being tired all the time. Just that little thing. You have no idea where people are going to end up. I'll tell you where I end up here this morning, right? After reading that book. But this is what happened in the meantime, I got excited, I started working, I became an NMD within 1 year. This is basically kind of a little bit breaking 4-minute miles at that time for us with the Juice Plus, because we just introduced it and we did not know what to do with it. So I just got excited, people should know about this, and I did a lot of events. This is prior to internet, not internet, but Facebook, and all these things. So yeah, because I would go to a lot of these caves, right, and then I would win. No, it wasn't that long ago. But I became NMD, then I moved to California. I lived there for a few years. I came back, then I started to travel to Europe. And 10 years ago, I sold my house here in Toronto. I moved to London. I lived in London for 2 years, and after 2 years, I said, you know what? I don't need to live here. Too many rules for me. So maybe some people need to live here. I'm going to move. So I bought a place in Belgrade, where I'm originally from, in Serbia, and that's where I live now. I love it, but I maybe collect 5-6 months in a year there. Every second month I'm there. I left, I don't know, 2 or 3 weeks ago. I spent a few days in London, then went to Vista for this crazy 4 days for the leadership, zip lining and whitewater rafting and all this stuff. So that just give you kind of a little bit of DNA of the company. And then flew here, when did I come here? Like a little more than a week ago. And where I ended up was yesterday. I woke up at 3 o'clock a.m. after waking morning before, also at 3 a.m. to do this 4.5 hour meditation from 4 until 8:30. So if you were to tell me when you prospected me that I would be doing this, I would say, get away from me, you crazy, And this is the most exciting part, really. We talk about the product and the company and all of this, but it's not about that. It's about who you're going to become. This is the game. And I'm going to leave you with this. How many people would like to be NMD? Pretty much everybody. And you know what? You are not NMD when you're on this stage. When you become NMD is in dark moments. When the 25th person says you were crazy. And there were 17 in a row, by the way. And there was a little break and then another 5. But you know what? You persevered. You kept your vision alive. And that moment, when you mastered that moment, when you became bigger than your past self, when you grew, that's when you became an MD. And that little decision that you persevered, you have no idea how many people are going to be in some room like this because of you, in that really moment. Sorry?
Introduce Kelly.
I'm supposed to introduce Kelly.
Yes.
Where's Kelly? Come on up, Kelly. I'm here, but I haven't landed yet, so I'm sorry.
That's so funny.
So what one am I pushing? This one?
Yeah, that one. Tell us who you are first.
So I'm Kelly Skinner. I am a registered massage therapist, mother of 2, and network marketer. Which, in the beginning when I started this business, it was like, oh geez, am I going to actually say this to people that this is what I do? So I'm here to train to you today on events. How many people in this room hear that word and go, oh my gosh, I don't want to do an event? No, please, please. Oh, come on, there's got to be more than one person. Because I know, like, when I went through my training with Jen Brennan, she was like, she goes through all the training, and then she's like, okay, so open up your calendar, let's put 3 events in there. And I was like, events? I thought I just paid my $50, and then all of a sudden money just filled my bank. Right? Like, it doesn't happen like that. You have to go, you have to strategically plan your events, right? So this picture up here in the center was actually my very first event that I had. And I was so nervous. Jen would know how many pots of coffee I went through. I was like texting her in the middle of the night, so worried about it and how it was going to turn out. And on that very first event, we ended up with 35 people out to that. And that wasn't just me. That was other distributors in the area who also brought people out. And it was at that moment I realized that, holy jeez, I'm not doing this by myself. I have other distributors, other teams, other people that are going to help me fill a room and make these events a success. So, you know, one of the beliefs that I had to overcome when I started this business was the belief of becoming a network marketer. I believed in the product. For the most part, I believed in myself. I believed in the business. You know, I was learning the business model. I was fairly new at it at that time. But I needed to believe in network marketing. And at the end of this very first event, I had somebody who came up to me and said, Kelly, I want to drink the Kool-Aid you're drinking. Because that was what Jen Brennan ended, how she finished it up. So that's how I started to have a belief in network marketing and thinking that this could actually be something that I could do. So I'm going to show you, you are really going to get an inside look into what my house looks like. We do a lot of in-home events. That's one of the ways that I feel like I best build relationships with people, right? So you're going to see a lot of the salad in a jar parties that we do. We do protein ball parties. Soup in a jar is another one. We did a couple of them. They're great right before Christmas, just as little teacher gifts. Again, it's just about relationship building with people. We do the bend and blends. You can't really see it, but in my backyard there, we had a yoga instructor come out. We did yoga in my backyard. I had shake samples. And then, of course, afterwards we had some wine and some food and just had a chit-chat, great time, right? Taste of the Shred is one that I've done out of my house. I absolutely love, just because it gives you the opportunity to kind of open into the shred, what's it about, gets the guides in their hands, right? Vision board party, that's another really great relationship building party event that you can have, because with those events, what ends up happening is people's visions of what they want for their life, for their future, for their family's life, comes out naturally. Like without you even having to ask the questions. You know, they're going through, and then you're going to see what they put on their vision board, and then you can ask questions about it. You know, where do you want to go? Well, how are you going to do that? So it's a really great one to get to know people or prospects and friends and people you want on your team. The Wine and Wellness, I do a lot of in-home events where that is probably my only one where you'll actually see the product out, you'll see the shred guides. There's 3 or 4 different people who are talking about their product story, their business story, stuff like that, to educate people who might be interested. So some verbiage for in-home events. Here's one. Hey Andrea, I'm hosting a salad in a jar party, and given that we were just chatting about how you were wanting to make some healthy changes, I thought that you might like to join us on Sunday, September 16th from 1 till 3. I only have enough room in the house for 10 people. So if you could let me know if you can make it, that would be great, and I'll add you to the event page so you can post what you will be bringing. I don't ever just set up a Facebook event page and invite 20 people into it and think, oh, they're just going to show up at my house. If I don't personally message them to ask them, they don't get it. I'll give you guys an example. There was I went away for the August long weekend, and I detached from social media. I came home on that Tuesday, I looked at my Facebook, I had 53 notifications in my inbox. How many events do you think that I missed from people doing just that? Adding me to groups, adding me to this, but not personally messaging me. So I don't want to be that person who's just adding people to stuff and not personally messaging them, because they're going to miss it. So here's another one. Hey Sheila, a few girlfriends of mine, we were wanting to make some healthy changes, and we were doing a shred starting Monday, October the 1st. We decided that we were going to host a Taste of the Shred potluck party on the Saturday before, so we can test out some recipes from the guide. Let me know if you think you can make it, so I can get the guide to you and add you to the event page, and you can let us know what you would like to bring. I only have room for 8 people, so if you could let me know as soon as possible, that would be great. Do you see what I'm doing here? Is that there's a number of people. If she's going to say no, I'm going to go on to the next person, and there's only room for 8, so I need her to get back to me and let me know if you're going to make it or not. But this is also a really great chance for me to get our shred guide. If it's somebody who's never been exposed to the shred, I'm now getting the shred guide into her hands, and she's going to look through it. I'm also going to have teamies and other girlfriends who are on the shred who are going to be there who can talk to her about the shred. So it's not just me. So it's exposure to them, right? Last one that I'll give you for in-home event verbiage. Hey Christy, I decided to do a protein ball party at my house to help keep us on track for our health goals and make some healthy after-school snacks for the kids. It's $5 for the protein powder, which thankfully is safe for kids. And then just bring 2 of the ingredients off the list. I have room for 8 people. Kids are welcome to come too, but let me know if you can make it so I can add you to the event page, and you can let us all know what you're bringing. Looking forward to seeing you and catching up. This also gives them a sense of commitment, right? Because now it's like, you've said yes to me, I'm adding you to the page, and you're responsible to come to my house with 2 ingredients. People feel really bad if they say yes to coming to something and they know that they're responsible for bringing the oats and the honey or something like that, right? I had a salad in a jar party once who, the lady, something came up for her. She was responsible for carrots. She dropped off a great big tin of carrots to me and had to run. So what I did in turn for her was I filled up 5 salad in the jars, mason jars for her, and sent them home with her. Let me tell you, she not only became a customer of mine, she became a distributor of mine, right? Wow. So it's doing little things like that for people. Next, that leads us to community events. When I can go in and I can relationship build with people in my house, it makes it easier for me to invite them out to a community event and not feeling like I'm selling them something, or they're not feeling like they're coming to something to be sold to, right? So we do a lot of traveling, which I love that, you know, Nicole, Melissa, Jen, we all go traveling. But we've done some like the Take Healthy Backs, from hot dogs to hemp seeds, allergy talks. And here's just one that, you know, I'd say is, hey Shelly, my girlfriend is hosting an event with a personal trainer coming and giving tips about nutrition and healthier living. Want to join me and we can carpool. Watch how often I say carpool when it comes to community events, okay? So just, I have to give hats off, oh my gosh, 5 minutes, to some of these ladies here who, Kathy, Diana, they had a Sarnia event and they filled the room. They went out to all the businesses, handed out flyers. They would talk to anybody who was willing to listen, even if they weren't willing to listen. You were getting a flyer. You know, they stopped them in the mall parking lots, everywhere. They filled this room and it was just so amazing. Other community events that we've done is Veg Fest there with my girlfriend Andrea. At the Veg Fest, we made sure that we had other events to invite them out to, something like a wine and wellness or a Raise Your Vibe, and that event was amazing. Hey Sherry, I don't know what you're up to on the 18th of July, but my girlfriend Kelly has put together this Raise Your Vibe event where her and a few others are going to be chatting about raising your vibration through nutrition, movement, mindfulness, meditation, and gratitude, and I thought of you. Anyway, I'm going, and I thought we could go together, even if it's just for the half-priced wine. We always do events around half-priced wine. Gets a lot of people out. Maybe we could carpool, right? I'm more than willing to be the designated driver for people, but get you there, get you the wine. Okay? Online events that we do, I'm not going to read them all because I'm running out of time, but it's always like, hey, oh gosh, I remember you talking about how you want to find something on the side to make a little extra cash for you and the kids. And then you invite them out, right? Whether it's, what are you looking for? Like you go back to classifying your prospects. Are they there for health? Are they there for financial gain? What is it that they're there for and how can you help them? So we do a Taking Healthy Back event, and we've done a Take Healthy Back to School event for some kids, right? We always focus on having different things for different people, and I don't invite every single person out to everything. I have to have it specific to that person, otherwise they're just feeling like I'm selling them something. Prevention Plus events. So we've had Alyssa Harriman out to Kitchener. We've had Dr. Hardy. My very first Prevention Plus event in Kitchener was with Dr. Hardy. We had 65 people come out. Then we had Jen Pike come out. We had about 90 people. Alyssa Harriman, we had 110 people registered for that event, to which about just shy of 100 came out in an ice storm. So it was pretty impressive. And here's just some, you know, verbiage. I came across this event that's happening and I immediately thought of you. So the event is towards the person and you're telling them that you're thinking about them because of something that they've said. I know that you've had struggles with menopause and your hormones, and I thought you might really enjoy this event. Her name is Jen Pike. She's a holistic nutritionist that specializes in women's hormones. Want to carpool with me? I do a lot of driving. So this is my favorite one that we did with the Alyssa Harriman, because a little tip on what we did was we knew that she was coming. She has 2 really great talks on cancer and another one on mental health. So what we did was we did a Facebook poll, and I personally messaged people asking them to go onto my page and vote on what they would like to hear more about. I didn't give them a date, just can you let me know what you would be more interested in coming out and listening to? And then with that, we ended up having 75 people vote. We had 4 shares on that. From there, it showed me what people were more interested in. Maybe Nicole was more interested in cancer. Maybe Sheila was more interested in mental health. But what it did was it allowed me to have a follow-up message saying, hey, I'm really glad that you took the time to go and vote on it. I see that you're interested in mental health. She's coming out on April the 6th. Can you make it? Want to carpool with me? Or if it's somebody who's more interested in cancer, hey, you know, the polls showed, or no, I wouldn't say that, but we went with mental health, and would you still like to come out to the cancer talk anyway? Because people might still be interested in this, right? So that's, I think, how we ended up getting so many people out to the Alyssa Harriman one. And finally, just make everything an event. You know, I have taken it, I have wine and wellnesses in my house, or not even wine and wellnesses, I just have ladies get-togethers. I've sponsored my child's baseball team, go out for wine, coffee. You'll see here, I have a lot of kids' pool parties, and at my house, the kids don't come without the parents, because for a safety reason, but it also gives me a chance. You'll see in that top corner there, there's the tower garden on my deck. Do you know what that does? That's a conversation starter. That's an opening, that's an in. Every time I'm around people, I'm listening to what it is that they're saying and what it is that they want, whether it's sick kids, more money, whatever, you learn about them, right? So make everything an event and just build those relationships. So with that, thank you.
Awesome.
I'm going to introduce Jenny Whittle. She is a wife and mom to 4 energetic kids. She's a small business owner and health enthusiast who believes in putting family first.
That was awesome. Events scared the out of me. So I hide behind social media, and I still do it. So I'm getting more comfortable with that. So, all right. Okay. So, question. Shall we start our talks out with questions? So, hands up. What is our job? Anyone? Anyone have hands here? Educate. Okay. What else? What's our job? Inspire. Yeah. So our job is to inspire healthy living. Our job isn't to sell a product. Is that weird? Right? Corporate's like, but that's our job. And like Dana said, people know when you're selling to them. And what I'm here to do today is to help you guys share on social media so that you don't feel like you're selling to anyone, that you're just sharing your personal life, your personal story, and your personal journey to health. So the 2 things I'm going to talk about today primarily is Facebook and Instagram. Those are the ones that I use. So again, building and maintaining relationships is key. Being a lighthouse. So you want to be an inspiration to people, not just in the health field, but in all aspects of healthy living. So this is interesting. People check their social media 14 times a day. 74% of consumers rely on social media to make purchasing decisions, which is huge. So I don't know about you guys, but if I want to see if a restaurant's open or if I want to get advice on something to buy, I go to Facebook personally. I don't even go to people's websites anymore. If I want to see when a restaurant's open, I go right to Facebook and look at it. I don't even go on their websites. 8 in 10 consumers are influenced by their friends' social media posts, which is huge. And I'm going to come back to that a little later in the presentation. And 1.4 billion monthly active users on Facebook. So if you're not there, try to get there. And for those in the room that are feeling intimidated by social media, because it's definitely can be intimidating, when I first joined my business 4 years ago, I didn't even know how to send an attachment through Messenger. So if I didn't know that then, and I'm here now teaching on it, there's a lot of growth there for you guys. So again, like I said, Facebook and Instagram. So they're the best things that I find for sharing, and that's what we want to do is to share. Zoom is really great for hosting meetings, so we do a lot of Zoom talks. And it's basically just like an online chat. So if you have team or if you have prospects, you can invite them to Zoom. You can just send them the number. I always like to send them the link. So if you go on Zoom, it'll say click here to open the meeting instead of just sending them a picture or the Zoom number. That way they can just click on it and then it'll redirect them right to the Zoom site. And they're good. So if you have teams that are hours away or in different countries, then connecting with team on Zoom is always really great. So step 2 is choose your content. So what are you going to be posting about? We're going to talk about that today. Considering your audience. So thinking about the people that are going to be seeing what you're posting. Spot potential customers. So like somebody said earlier, if somebody is talking about being tired or getting sick, it was the first week of school and they're already sick, that's a potential customer that you can connect with. Converting leads to customers and providing great customer service. So if you're new to the business, your upline probably has a customer service page that they use on Facebook. I have one, and I put in not just content about Juice Plus, but also smoothie recipes, food recipes, exercise routines. Like I did a post on like sciatic pain the other day, just like helping people learn different healthy tips, because people live busy lives and they don't necessarily have time to look that stuff up for themselves. So I love Nicole's. Now this is an old one. This isn't yours anymore. This is from was it last year, the boot camp? So again, this is Facebook. It's not dog book and it's not baby book. So your profile picture should be a picture of you. It can be a picture of you with your baby or your dog or your husband, or all three. But definitely have it to be you. Because if you send a friend request to somebody and they're seeing a picture of a flower, they don't know if it's necessarily you and they won't accept that. Your cover photo should be of something that represents you. So right here, that's inspiring to me. It's somebody that's fun-loving, bright, colorful, and she has an awesome quote there. The best project you ever work on is you. So if you like to travel, then it would be you at the Grand Canyon. Or if you're family-oriented, be you with your family. I think it's pretty self-explanatory. So this is my girl Katie. I love Katie. I follow her like crazy. She must think I'm crazy. But I love how she works social media, and she was one of the first Juice Plusers to really get a hold of social media and really run with it. Katie lives in Siesta Key now, but she's from the UK. And here we have, on your Facebook, you'll have like a little kind of blurb, I forget what it's called, it's like a little profile. And she doesn't say anything about Juice Plus. She just says health and happiness coach, mama to her daughter, she's traveler, beach life, and she has a brand called Upgrade Your Life. And she runs with that brand, and part of that brand is Juice Plus. So she's not just Juice Plus, Juice Plus, Juice Plus. You won't see on her work, you won't see, National Marketing Director of Juice Plus. Because to the average layman, they don't even know what that is. So it really doesn't make sense. She's just talking about things here that are part of her work. So weight loss, health, happiness, confidence, wealth, freedom. So if I come across her, she sends me a friend request, I'm going to be thinking, what's this awesome lady up to? She has really, really great content, really great images. And I'm going to accept that friend request and check her out a little bit, because she doesn't look like she wants to sell me anything. Olivia. So I love Olivia. She's from the UK as well. You want the content that you're sharing on Facebook to be inspiring and create curiosity. So again, she doesn't talk about Juice Plus. She also has a brand of Love Your Body. And you see her here, going for a run, doing lunges. So she's really living that healthy living lifestyle. And then, so this is from a year or so ago. So she had shakes go out. So one of the things I learned from the girls in the UK is they always are posting, and with permission from their customers and new customers, posting what their customers, when the order goes out. So you'll see a lot, we were talking about Danielle Hatton. So she'll write, thank you for your reorder of those capsules. And she's tagging that friend in that post, obviously getting their permission. But again, going back to consumers are influenced by what their friends are doing. That girl that she's contacted or connected in that post is going to be like, she might have a friend that's thinking, what are these shakes? These look awesome. I want a part of that. She's going to message her friend. She's going to put her in touch with Danielle. And then for Danielle, that's an opportunity for that customer then to become a rep, because there's an automatic customer right there. So always creating that curiosity. So I try not to do hashtag Juice Plus or even show necessarily the label. Sometimes I do. But if I do show Juice Plus, it's usually, I'll be like cooking something and Juice Plus is in the background. So branding. So branding is all the ways you establish an image of your company, or you, in your customer's eyes. So we all have these featured photos on our Facebook. So when you accept a friend request from me, or if you see me online, you're going to see this. Twin mom, so mama twins, work from phone mom, what's that? You just work from your phone. At my Sailor Mom Life, so I always put my hashtag, or not my hashtag, my Instagram handle there. And then I've gone with Adore Your Body, Adore Your Life. And then in those feature photos, I've just given a little title, health enthusiast and coach, mom and wife, traveler, entrepreneur, public speaker. Apparently I can't speak. But that's going to, again, just like with Katie, it's going to make you think, this is cool. Hey, I'm interested in healthy living, or I like to travel. What's this girl all about? So the 8 commandments of branding. So you want to be authentic, be real, and be you. Be inspiring, be a lighthouse. Be engaging. So like Kelly was talking about, those polls are awesome because she's really figuring out where her audience is going with what they want to see. Be enthusiastic and be vibrant. And be modest, so avoid the arrogance trap. So if somebody there's a lot of groups and stuff like that. I live in a small town where right now politically, Janice, there's a lot of drama. And so we have a lot of people in our town that are commenting on things, and I don't even get involved because whatever I'm going to say is going to be on the internet forever, and I don't want necessarily getting involved in that kind of drama. So if you see that kind of happening, just steer away. If you want to be successful, if you don't, steer right into it. Be respectful, be honest, act with integrity, and be approachable. So the approachability thing, sometimes when we are healthy living and inspiring healthy living, sometimes we don't share the times that we eat a cheeseburger. And so doing that and sharing like, oh, I cheated today, or you know what, I didn't go to the gym this morning, or something of that matter. Sometimes you want to do that to make you feel like, or make your audience see that you're, human. So JP-related content. So my friend Megan here, she was at my house a couple years ago, and she was looking at the size of my Swiss chard. And she decided to put this. So it's awesome. She's saying, so when people say size doesn't matter, they're just being polite, size always matters. So it's funny, it's quirky, that's Megan, showing off the Tower Garden. And again, she's not saying anything like contact me for more information or buy this here. We have a really great platform on our virtual office, on our customer website, the Juice Plus community. So if you want to put recipes and stuff like that on your Facebook wall, you can just go to community and then go through those articles and then copy the URL right to your Facebook page, and then that's going to redirect your audience right to your customer website. So they can click on that to get a great recipe, but then they're going to see other content Juice Plus related as well. And then the third picture is just me, working my business, literally floating around my pool with my kids. So again, sharing that lifestyle, sharing that I have this fun life and I'm working from my phone. So, non-Juice Plus related content. So what are you supposed to post? Where are you going to start? So start with what you're passionate about. So going back to those 4 featured photos. I kind of recycle those 4 things all the time. When we travel, healthy living tips, pictures of my kids, pictures of events and trainings like today. So you have to figure out maybe 4 or 5 things that you want to concentrate on. So cooking, traveling, working out, family, art, music, fashion, baking, animals, cars, interior design, whatever really floats your boat. You don't want your Juice Plus, or you don't want your Facebook to just be a highlight reel of just Juice Plus. You want to be able to show people you because they buy you, not what you do. And joining groups that share your passion and building relationships within those groups, and following successful people and letting them inspire you. So I follow Olivia, I follow Katie, I follow Danielle. I'm inspired by them all the time. So establishing your routine and following up. So Teamsy is a really, really great way if you have a busy life to stay on track with your business. But again, with social media posts, sometimes we forget. I like to post on my Facebook story and my Insta story, and I literally set my alarm to like every hour, and just taking a snapshot of what I'm doing in that hour. And I find that people like watching those stories and they kind of get caught up in them. Posting at least 5 times a day, and that doesn't have to be Juice Plus related at all. Again, going back to inspiring healthy living, what are you doing, who are you, and attracting your audience. Peak hours are between 5 and 10, so that's when people are on social media. So again, using your Insta story and linking it to your Facebook story. Send a PM to those who comment on your post to establish or reestablish relationships. And then sending PMs set algorithms. So I have, I think, 5,000 friends on Facebook, and I can't possibly see all those 5,000 people every day. But if I send a message to Jim Brennan, I don't ever see Jim Brennan. But if I were, then all of a sudden Facebook will redirect. So next time she posts something, it'll show up in my feed. So if you just start conversations with people that are completely not Juice Plus related at all, they're going to start seeing you showing up in their feed. And then using those connections to set up coffee. I'm a mom of 4, so setting up play dates are always key. So please just don't do that at all. Again, we're not allowed to make medical claims. So if you've had weight loss, then you can post something, a before and after of yourself, and say, you know what, following the healthy living revolution, this is my result. But we can't say that it has weight loss. Or hair growth, or any of those things. Because I don't know that if Randy starts taking it, she's going to have the same result as me. She's going to blame the product. It's not going to be a good story. And again here. And these are beautiful images, don't get me wrong, but let's not. Let's just show our own experience with it. Healthy gums. And these are things that the research has shown, but people don't care about necessarily that. They want to know why you love it so much. And then this, like, just don't, please, just don't. This to me just looks salesy, and trust me, I've done this. I know. I posted things on Facebook. I've gotten in trouble with that office many times because I was learning and growing, and that's why I'm here. Because I've been doing it for 4 years, so I kind of know what works now. But the job opportunity, that just to me looks just salesy, and I don't want to be a salesperson because I'm not a salesperson at all. And then the how much is Juice Plus. I mean, this is an image where it takes any questions out. So if somebody decides that $1.49 a day is too much, they're not even going to bother contacting you. So putting something out there and then letting them write you or PM you and ask more questions. And then remember, how will they know if you don't tell them? And how will they know if you don't show them? So I get to introduce Sarah. So Sarah is a mom of 22-month-old Jagger. She's a former fitness competitor and a freedom seeker. And she's going to be sharing her journey to NND.
Wow, thank you guys for having me up here to share my, nope, don't need that. Share my journey the last 3.5 years. Ugly, fat, stupid, unworthy, and unsuccessful. These were all words and thoughts that ran through my mind as a little girl. And I know some of you here today can probably relate to feeling like you didn't belong or that you were unworthy of anything good. And to be honest, these were thoughts that actually ran through my mind most of my life until about 3.5 years ago when I was connected with this amazing community. And everything has changed since then. So just to tell you a little bit about myself and my past, I struggled with mental health issues, eating disorders, depression, and addiction. But my biggest struggle was with self-love. My family separated when I was 5 years old, and my once safe community was falling to pieces. I began to overeat, and overnight, I was no longer the little girl that loved to smile. I was the little girl that was bullied by people she thought loved her. I began to struggle in my own family, thinking that I was the messed up one, the unsuccessful one, the black sheep of the family. I entered into high school, and like most, all you want to do is fit in, and I was starving for attention, and this is when eating disorders crept into my life. I'll never forget the day that I graduated high school, a day that is supposed to be one of your biggest accomplishments, and all I could obsess over was the fact that I had gained 2 pounds. In a bra and underwear, staring at the scale as it read 79 pounds. My dad walked in accidentally and caught a glimpse of his once little girl who he used to love to sing his favorite Hall & Oates song to, Sarah Smile. The song he actually named me after was fading away to a skeleton. I was pushing people away that wanted to help. I was making choices and decisions that I was ashamed of, creating that cycle of self-hate. I remember feeling lost, alone, and worthless. I got married when I was 19. I was raising a child that wasn't mine, suffering with my eating disorders, and also battling with my husband's severe addiction issues. I was about to finish and graduate college, but I had these reoccurring thoughts of not having self-worth and self-doubt. And I gave up on everything, my education, my marriage, and myself. My darkness was overwhelming, but you guys have all heard that saying and probably read the book, The Universe Has Your Back, and the universe most certainly had my back, because my darkness has turned to my light and has brought me here today. So fast forward a few years, in my 30s, my health crisis became very real when I was told I could not conceive a child naturally. And as a young woman, and as a woman who dreamt of being a mom her whole life, my whole world came crashing down. But I knew that this could not be my story. I needed a place where I fit in, that made sense to me, and that aligned with truly who I was. So I actually became extremely passionate about holistic living and healing and fitness. So passionate about fitness, I actually entered some fitness competitions. And my coach had posted some before and after pictures of my transformation. And I had so many people messaging me saying I was an inspiration to them. And I'll never forget that feeling and those thoughts of who me, Sarah, who once thought she was never good enough, was an inspiration to someone. And this is when I discovered my true passion and my true purpose. But I had a job that was wreaking havoc on my own health and was not aligning with who I was. But I do believe the universe listens and brings things into your life when you need them most. And this is when my sister's best friend, now one of my best friends, Miss Jennifer Brennan, posted on Facebook that she was looking for team. And although I had been approached by many other companies, I would take one look at those ingredients and knew they did not align with my holistic beliefs. But when I saw the Juice Plus products, they made sense to me, and they fit seamlessly in with my morals and philosophies of healthy living. So I actually got started in the business and the product right away, and within only a few short weeks, I was seeing profound changes in my own health. And within a year, we were gifted with a pregnancy. And my community, my community was growing, and my community was growing. Our son Jagger was born November 11th, 2016, an extremely healthy Juice Plus baby. And my purpose was evolving. That was to inspire good healthy living, but now also to be a mom. And when I got my first paycheck, I could not believe I just got paid for helping people feel better and live a better life. It's such a gift that we have in this business. But because of my past and struggles of caring what people thought, sharing this business and this product was actually a huge obstacle for me. But because of my own experience and my morals and philosophies of healthy living, I knew I had to share this. We have to share this. Because if we aren't and don't, we're actually being a huge disservice to people. May 2017, the game changer moment happened in my Juice Plus journey. I was invited to a leadership weekend in Montreal that Karen was talking about earlier. And for the first time in a very, very long time, I felt organically connected to people. As I reflected on that weekend, I knew I needed these people. These people were my community, and they were my family, This community helped me feel strong and worthy of my life, a feeling I hadn't felt in a really long time. And to struggle with mental health issues and being bullied, a large portion of your life, you feel alone. You don't trust people. You don't feel like you can be your authentic self. And to be in a room for a weekend with hundreds of people just lifting you up and wanting the best for you, it is the most magical experience I had ever experienced. So my journey to NMD could not have happened if it weren't for my team and my uplines. They created a place where I belonged, a place of trust and encouragement, and a place that taught me to grow. And that month leading up to NMD was actually the biggest trip of my life, from crying in cars to the most euphoric moment on Qualifiers Day to actually a very pivotal moment in my life, a conversation I had with Miss Melissa Hyde. I'm gonna cry. My husband and I decided it was 2 days before Qualifiers Day, Easter weekend, home visiting my family. My husband and I decided to have the biggest argument that we've had in probably our whole relationship. My son was not sleeping, and you just had this vision of just going all out action the last 48 hours, and yeah, that didn't happen. And I'm in Starbucks parking lot crying, and all of those feelings of feeling that you didn't deserve it, that I wasn't worthy of anything, and it just wasn't going to happen, came in. And I called Melissa, and she was, if anything, my friend in this moment. Said, Sarah, you need to just be, you need to go have sleep. And she said 2 words to me, trust and believe. And for the first time that I can actually remember, I believed that I deserved something. And I trusted that everything that had happened in my whole life was meant to happen. And they say it takes a village, and my Juice Plus family is my village. I never believed in myself my whole life. And in that moment, and when I stood in front of thousands of people to share my darkness, my story, which is now an inspiration to people, and as I stand here before all of you, I can no longer say that. I believe in myself. And to that little girl who was bullied as a child, and to that teenager who struggled to fit in, and to that young woman who struggled with self-love, she has shone bright through my whole entire journey. We have been given this powerful gift with this Juice Plus community. And like me, I hope you can believe in yourself, and I hope you can trust that everything that has happened to you was meant to happen. And I hope you can turn your own darkness into your light. The past 3.5 years with this community, I've been evolving to become the wife, the mom, the friend, and the leader that I was meant to be. And it is because all of you. So I wanted to end on this quote that kind of encompassed how important this community is to me, and I hope to all of you. Be around the light bringers, the magic makers, the world shifters, and the game shakers. They challenge you, they uplift you, and expand you. They do not let you play small with your life. These heartbeats are your people. These people are your tribe. When you find your tribe, love on them hard. And I just wanted to say thank you for every single one of you that has been on this journey with me, for loving me on me hard. So thank you everyone for listening to my story.